It's Manga time once again here to bring you my review of Bleach 674, Father 2. I know you won't believe me, but I was actually thinking this morning that maybe the title Father implies that either Isshin or Ryuken are going to show up. I honestly really did think, however, that it wasn't going to be for ages yet. Like, we would get like 7 Father chapters before they showed up right at the end or something. But no, they are here from the beginning, and it's actually really exciting. So the chapter actually starts off in a weird place. I thought we were going to get a flashback from the way it was going. There's like an intermittent flashback, but it's not even really a flashback. Basically, it starts off with, I thought it was snowfall at first, but no, it's just a raindrop. Ichigo then falls out of the pillar in the present day, and Yhwach stands up and he's like, we're done talking, and then there's more rain. And basically, I'll just address that now. I'm pretty sure it's Ichigo remembering back to the day where his mum died, because obviously it started raining when she was dying. My friend of mine, however, thinks it is a representation of Ichigo's inner world starting to rain more as he's getting angrier. That's possibly it. I still think I would go with my one. I think it's a represent, because obviously Ichigo's mum is a huge part of this fight now. So I think that's Ichigo remembering that. Yhwach then stands to his feet, and I have to admit that he looks cool, actually. He does look cooler than I thought he did. Even though I still don't really get what the hell is going on. And honestly, I'm starting to think now that's a serious problem. Unless, if you guys out there understand what's going on, then do please let me know. But I'm starting to think it is a serious issue now, that we have absolutely no idea what the fuck is going on. Because Yhwach's just too cryptic. I said it last week, and it carries on this week. He's too cryptic. I hope we get some legit answers in this little... Because this father arc, I'm reckoning is going to go... This father arc might go on for a little while. Could be the next day aside, who knows? But, yeah, basically, yeah, he stands to his feet and he's like, let me show you what I can do, Ichigo. And funnily enough, he doesn't actually really do much. But Ichigo kind of, he stares at Yhwach and he's got like a super angry expression on his face, and then you see the rain fall. So, yeah, I think it's gotta be, he's like, you're the one who killed my mum, I'm remembering her death, I'm pissed off. Gotta say, I'm disappointed in Ichigo. Pretty sure I said this last week as well, but he's proven so easy to manipulate once again, which is just weird, because I'm sure he went through his whole Royal Realm training, and they were like, oh, you've got poison composure, you're a real Shinigami, you don't flip the fuck out anymore. But no, the moment Yhwach opens his mouth, Ichigo loses his shit, and it just charges in and gets wasted. So Yhwach is still, although he's now standing up, he's still basically in the same place, and he's just firing off his black stuff. Again, I don't know what it is. Is it Reiatsu? I'm guessing it might be Reiatsu. That'd be quite cool. He then says, charging in so recklessly and dragging that poor woman with you, did your hatred cloud your mind and make you forget? So, Yhwach is right, and Ichigo is getting impatient, and then Yhwach basically bitch slaps him with the darkness. And then now we get weird again. Yhwach says, and remember, I don't know how much of this is down to dodgy translations. Yhwach says, you will be devoured by me, your death is inevitable, so let's not rush things and enjoy ourselves a bit more. That's weird, because like literally 2 pages ago he said, I'm done talking, it's time to fight, basically. He then says, you have no idea how much time it took and how many sets of circumstances had to line up just right to have you created. What? Is he talking about himself? Is he saying that he was the one who set up the circumstances, because he wasn't? Like, let's just make that very clear. Throughout Ichigo's birth, Yhwach was not even fully sentient, hence why Ichigo's mum's death completed Yhwach's awakening. So, Yhwach didn't have any hand in Ichigo's birth. Aizen did. Aizen forced the meeting of Shinigami and Hollow. The coincidence was a lucky coincidence, but Aizen did all of that. And Yhwach's now just sort of sitting here, basically being Aizen 2.0. And it's like, what are you talking about? Seriously, what is he talking about? Like, what does it even mean? At least with Aizen, we eventually found out, like, oh, okay, that's actually what he meant. Whereas with Yhwach, I don't think we're ever going to find out. I think it's just cryptic rubbish, most of it. But, and now he says, Cease your impetuousness and stop making light of your oh so important life. So maybe the only thing I can think of is, obviously Ichigo is an agglutination of every race in Bleach. He's a Shinigami, a human, a Quincy, and a Hollow, and as far as we're aware, the only character in Bleach to be like that. Maybe Yhwach wants to be like that. So what I'm kind of thinking here is, what if Ichigo isn't the only character like that? What if the Soul King is also like that? And therefore, Yhwach wants Ichigo's body so he can then be like that as well. I don't know. Maybe. Be nice we got told. And then Yhwach's like, your body, your power, they were never yours to begin with, Ichigo. They've returned to their rightful owner. What? Seriously, again, like, what is this? What is he talking about? And he says, so spew out every last bit of your power and then die, Ichigo. Again, could be dodgy translations, but honestly, Yhwach is talking nonsense. Absolute nonsense at this point. And the problem as well, like, the blame can't entirely be placed on Yhwach. Some of the problem does lie with Ichigo. He's a main character that doesn't ask fucking questions. He doesn't ask anyone anything. You know? Like, if Yhwach were to say, okay, Ichigo, sit down, I'll tell you everything, Ichigo would basically be like, no, you know what? I don't need to hear it. I don't care. I don't give a damn about any of that stuff. I'm just here to beat your ass. And you know Ichigo would say that, and that is annoying. But then we get a look at Ichigo, and he's in serious shit, actually. Like, one of his eyes is, like, almost closed because he's taken such a beating, and he's not in a good place at all, and he is in big trouble. We then move back to Gerard's fight, which is interesting. Renji and Rukia are running away from Gerard, and they're going to try and advance back somehow. However, just before Gerard's massive hand takes them out completely, they are spirited away by Byakuya, who kind of comes out of nowhere. It's quite funny because Byakuya essentially has them both, and he tried to Shumpo away, but he didn't do it right, and Renji smacked into a building, which is actually quite funny. But this is now a complete rehash of the moment in Huecamundo where Byakuya told Ichigo to go away and go to Karakura Town. He says, you two go and join up with Kurosaki Ichigo, and Byakuya says, you know, oh, I'm sure you can sense his Reiatsu, that thing is on Yhwach's level. And there's been a lot of confusion about this online. Is he talking about Ichigo or is he talking about Gerard? I think he's talking about Gerard because I don't think he'd call Ichigo that thing. And I think he's essentially saying, this thing is on Yhwach's level, therefore you're not going to be any help to us. Again, doesn't make a lot of sense because he's sending them to Ichigo anyway, and Ichigo's already fighting Yhwach, so I don't get it. But he says, you know, what are you hesitating for? Don't think so highly of yourselves. And then Gerard tries to attack them, only for Byakuya to block it with his Bankai, and he says, you know, I'm not implying that Kurosaki needs your strength. I'm saying that I have no need for either of you here, and if I've made myself clear, you're excused. Again, it's literally, almost word for word, him saying to Ichigo, no one in the Gotei 13 would need to rely on you, so leave. Which is Byakuya's own way of saying, it's too dangerous for you here. I gotta say, it's kind of weird not seeing Gerard's face. His hand is in this chapter like 3 times, but you never see his face. That's kind of weird. But anyway, they leave. They're like, oh yeah, okay, thank you, and then they run off. I kind of hope they get intercepted by someone, but I don't think they will. Anyway, Byakuya then returns to Hitsugaya, who, his demeanour is actually very different now that he's an adult. But he says, they saw right through you, you're concerned for them, that is. And Byakuya's like, well, I worded my lines very carefully that they could read through the lines if they wanted to. And Hitsugaya's pulling like a funny face. Again, you'd never see that in young Hitsugaya. But then he says, you know, oh, are you sure you're okay with that? Because seriously, I mean, this is just another line that I think might be badly translated. Byakuya tells them to go to Kurosaki's group. And then Hitsugaya says, are you sure you're okay with that? They really should be heading to where Kurosaki is. And that's exactly what Byakuya told them to do? I don't know. But then Hitsugaya says, I don't know if you ever attended the Spiritual Arts Academy, which is weird. I'm pretty sure Hitsugaya would know whether he had or not. But he says, but at the academy, we weren't taught to fight for our superiors or our families. To the best of our abilities, all Shinigami protect all their friends and humans with their very lives. Hitsugaya then says, you and I may be fellow acquaintances with Kurosaki, but those two, they're Kurosaki Ichigo's close friends. And then he says, if they're going to draw their blades, it would be appropriate for them to do it alongside Kurosaki. So again, I got to be honest with you, I don't really understand the point of this conversation. because they are headed towards Ichigo's place. So, if you have a better idea, do please let me know. Byakuya then says, deciding what's right and wrong, very Shinigami-like teachings. And then Hitsugaya says, be it right or wrong, they probably go to him anyways. They are going there. Unless there's a translation error and Byakuya told them not to go to Ichigo's group. I honestly have no idea. Yeah, weird. This again, rehash of Byakuya talking to Miyuri just as Ichigo left when they were like, are you implying that Ichigo's going to win? And that's all rubbish. Anyway, we then move over again to Haschwalth, and he basically gives us a spiel about scales. And he's like, all people exist based on scales. How they live, what they encounter. Basically, people's decisions on right and wrong form who they are, and, that makes them who they are. And we see that he's standing over a defeated Uryu. Uryu's looking pretty fucked. And Haschwalth's like, even you, that's how you became the man you are today. So although we don't have Haschwalth's balance, it obviously is balance. As we've been saying for years now, it obviously is balance. That is his shrift. Haschwalth then says, I cannot see your form. The you that was built up from your choices on your scales of right and wrong, I cannot see it. And then he says, so who is the actual Uryu Ishida? Is it truly your honest desire to put your life on the line for those shallow, heartless humans? So I don't know why Haschwalth's bringing this up, because what about Uryu has made him suddenly think that Uryu perhaps isn't trying to protect him? I don't know. Unless it's just implying that Haschwalth has no idea who Uryu really is. But, yeah, Uryu's like, who's the real Uryu Ishida? How can I possibly answer something as vague as that? And then he summons another new bow, which is like his third one this arc, I think. Pretty sure at the start of the arc he had his small bow, which he got in the Fullbring arc, out of nowhere. Then when Ichigo tried to fight him in Vandenreich, he had an enormous bow, and now he's got a very weird looking crossbow. Not an actual crossbow, it's a bow that's shaped like a cross. And Uryu is also really quite badly beaten up with blood on the floor, and he's just like, the truth is I don't know the answer until I see all of you drop like flies. So perhaps, I think what Haschwalth might be asking him here is that, why are you siding with the humans over Quincy's, your own family? And Uryu is essentially saying, I don't know how I'll feel about your destruction until you're dead. I'm guessing that's what he's talking about, but it's vague. And Haschwalth's like, oh, so that's how it is. Implying, oh, okay, you are going to fight me then no matter what. You want to see me dead, and then you'll decide if it was a good idea or not. Then we get to the best bit of the chapter by a country mile. Someone drops a sun key on the floor. We get another use of the sun portal, the Gate of the Sun. The Gate of the Sun is weird. Like, we've never seen anyone explicitly use it. People always come out the other end, but we never seen anyone explicitly use it. Anyway, we get some very interesting dialogue here, and again, I could be mistranslated, but I'm going to go based off what I got here. Someone says, this was rather unexpected. I never imagined this portal we used decades ago would still be in working order. To which another guy says, I'm grateful to your old man. Thanks to his quick wits, he used it to escape back when he was exiled. Turns out it's Ryuken and Isshin. That's fucking awesome. And Ryuken looks like a complete boss as well. He's got like a Quincy version of his doctor's jacket on. But anyway, Ryuken says, oh indeed, it's the one and only time I've ever been grateful for my father's sticky-fingered habit, implying his dad was a thief. But then Isshin's like, oh, speaking ill of your own father, it's always a wonder that people call you a bad son. Apparently that's mistranslated. Apparently he says something like, you speaking ill of your own father, it's no surprise your son speaks ill of you, or something like that. But great picture, great artwork. They look badass. They really do look really cool, actually. Just arriving on scene. Clearly, Ryuken is going after Haschwalth. Isshin is obviously probably going to join Ichigo against Yhwach. And maybe when Isshin arrives, we'll actually get talk about Masaki. Someone will actually bring it up properly. When Isshin arrives, we'll get the lowdown on what the hell is actually going on. But yeah, these two showing up, very, very exciting. This is actually the first time we've seen Ryuken this arc in the present timeline. We've seen him in a couple of flashbacks, but we've never seen him fight before either, so that's exciting. And he looks like a badass, actually. So yeah, I'm really hyped there. But interesting, he says that they used this portal decades ago. Is he talking about himself and Isshin? Did they try and fight Yhwach when Yhwach was asleep and, when he was building his power? Or is he talking about himself and his dad, perhaps? It's also interesting that Soken used to be a member of Vandenreich, but he was exiled and then he managed to escape using the Sun Key. So yeah, I don't quite know what any of this means, but I've got to be honest, I'm pretty excited to find out. The ending of this chapter is really exciting, actually. And to be honest, it sounds like I've been pretty down on most of the chapter, but it was quite good. I do quite like the chapters where they jump around a lot. So I'm going to drop a 4 on this one. I think it might start getting a bit better from here on out with these two here. And yeah, I did enjoy it quite a lot. And the reveal of this at the end was like a real holy shit moment, because I was not expecting that at all, to be honest. So yeah, no, really cool actually. I did like it. Guys, let me know in the comments below what you thought this week's chapter. I'm getting a bit sick of the whole vagueness of everything, so I'm really hoping stuff gets cleared up soon. But I'm super hyped to see these two fight. That'd be awesome. Like I said, we've not seen Ryuken done anything yet. So guys, let me know in the comments below what you thought of this week's Bleach chapter. And don't forget to subscribe to my channel. I would appreciate the support. But until next time, guys, see you later.